Have you ever looked through your pocket change and wondered if that old penny might be worth more than just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that a 2005 Lincoln penny, yes, the one with no mint mark, could actually be worth a small fortune? In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at the 2005 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, why collectors are searching for it, and how you could potentially turn a simple coin into a big payday. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the fascinating world of rare pennies and coin collecting. You might just find that treasure has been sitting in your change jar all along. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than a symbolic image. Over the years, the design has gone through several changes, but Lincoln's portrait has remained on the front or obverse of the coin ever since. The 2005 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Memorial Reverse series, which was used from 1959 until 2008. This version features the Lincoln Memorial on the back of the coin. In 2005, millions of these pennies were produced, making it seem like just another common coin. But sometimes within those millions, a few special ones are struck with unusual features, either from errors or unique characteristics that make them rare and highly collectible. Now, let's talk about how you can identify a genuine 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny. First, turn the coin over to the front or obverse where Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears. Just below the year 2005, you may or may not see a small letter. If there is no letter under the year, that means your coin was minted in Philadelphia. This mint traditionally does not include a mint mark on pennies. Next, check for the word Liberty to the left of Lincoln's portrait and the words "In God We Trust" along the top rim of the coin. These features should be clearly struck and not overly worn down. On the reverse or back of the coin, look for the Lincoln Memorial along with the words United States of America and 1 cent. The details of the memorial columns and Lincoln's seated figure inside can help determine how well the coin was struck and how much it has circulated. Here are the technical specifications for the 2005 Lincoln penny. Weight: 2.5 grams diameter, 19 millimeters composition, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. Edge: plain, without any ridges. Mint marks: none for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for proof coins from San Francisco. Now here's where things get interesting. While most 2005 pennies are common, some have errors that make them valuable to collectors. These include double die errors, where parts of the design, especially the lettering or Lincoln's face, appear doubled off. Center strikes, when the coin is not struck squarely, leaving part of the design missing. Die cracks and cuts, raised lines or blobs of metal caused by damaged equipment during the minting process. Struck through errors, when foreign material like grease or fibers interferes with the coin's design. These error coins are not easy to find, but if you do come across one, you could be looking at a very valuable penny indeed. So why would a 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny be worth more than face value? For most people, these pennies are just 1 cent. But collectors often pay attention to condition, rarity, and unique errors. A 2005 penny with a dramatic double die, for example, can sell for hundreds of dollars. Even a regular no mint mark penny in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks brand new and shows no wear, can be worth several dollars to the right buyer. What makes this coin rare isn't just the year or lack of a mint mark. It's the combination of condition, errors, and demand among collectors. Some folks have pulled these valuable coins straight from circulation and they've turned that lucky find into real money. Let's break down the current market value for the 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny, worn or heavily circulated. Still worth about 1 cent, maybe 2 cents if someone is building a bulk collection. Lightly circulated, in good condition, around 5 to 25 cents. Uncirculated examples can range from $1 to as much as $10, depending on the coin's appearance and luster. Certified by a grading service, if a coin is graded as MS65 or higher, that's mint state grade, it could sell for $50 or more. Error coins: some dramatic double die or off-center strike coins have sold at auction for hundreds and in rare cases even over $1,000. Let's take a look at a few real-world examples. A 2005 Lincoln penny with a dramatic double die error sold for $850 at a public auction. Another uncirculated no mint mark coin, graded MS67 by PCGS, fetched $120 from a private collector. A coin with a 30% off-center strike was recently listed online for $300 and it sold within a week. These examples show just how valuable this coin can be under the right circumstances. So, can you really get lucky with a 2005 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny? Absolutely. If you know what to look for and you keep an eye out for coins in great condition or with unusual features, you might just find a penny that's worth much more than face value. It only takes one lucky discovery to make your day or your whole week. So here's what I want you to do. Check your change. Look through those old coin jars. Pull out that dusty coffee can in the closet. You never know what treasures you might already own. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating videos about rare coins, valuable pennies, and coin collecting tips. I release new videos every week to help collectors, both new and experienced, understand what to look for, and who knows? Your next coin find could be the one that changes everything. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Have you ever found an old penny in your pocket or tucked away in a coin jar and wondered if it might be worth more than just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that a simple penny from 1977, one with no mint mark, could be worth far more than you ever imagined? Today, we're diving deep into the 1977 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. We'll uncover its fascinating history, show you how to identify a valuable one, and reveal how much collectors are willing to pay for it. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's explore what makes this little coin so special. Segment 1. Historical background narrator. To understand the value of the 1977 Lincoln penny, we need to take a short walk through history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first American coin to feature a real person's portrait, quite a shift from the traditional images of Lady Liberty. BY 1977. The Lincoln penny had been in circulation for nearly 7 decades. But what makes the 1977 version stand out, especially the one without a mint mark? In that year, most pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on its coins. So, if you have a 1977 penny with no mint mark under the date, it likely came from the Philadelphia Mint. But just because it's common doesn't mean it's worthless. Some specific 1977 pennies are turning heads in the coin collecting world, and it's not just because of where they were made. Segment 2. How to identify a genuine 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny narrator. Here's how you can tell if your 1977 penny might be something special. First, take a look at the front of the coin, known as the obverse. You'll see Abraham Lincoln's profile, facing right. Just beneath the year 1977, there should be no mint mark if it came from the Philadelphia Mint. Now, flip the coin over. On the reverse side, you should see the Lincoln Memorial, which was featured on pennies from 1959 to 2008. If both sides check out, and the coin has no visible damage or alterations, you're on the right track. But now let's get into the fine details that could make this coin valuable. A genuine 1977 Lincoln penny weighs approximately 3.11 grams and is made primarily of copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc, to be exact. This was before the major change in 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched to a predominantly zinc composition due to the rising cost of copper. Most 1977 pennies are considered common. However, what gets collectors excited are the rare varieties and errors that occurred during the minting process. For example, keep an eye out for double die errors, where parts of the coin design appear to be doubled, especially in the date or the words, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Also look for off-center strikes, repunched mint marks on other versions, or unusually sharp details that could indicate a rare die variety. Some 1977 pennies even have a smooth, almost polished appearance. These could have been struck on planchets meant for other coins, which adds to their rarity. So what makes this penny valuable, if it's so common? The answer lies in condition and rarity. Most pennies from this year have been heavily circulated. They're scratched, worn down, and often corroded. But if you happen to find one in near-perfect condition, or better yet, one with a mint error, you could be holding a collector's item worth far more than a cent. Grading is everything in the world of coin collecting. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better condition. A 1977 penny in circulated condition might only be worth face value. But a coin in uncirculated condition, meaning it shows no signs of wear, could fetch several dollars. And a certified, mint-state example with a high grade, say MS65 or higher, can be worth between $10 and $50 or more, depending on market demand. Now, add a rare error into the mix and prices can skyrocket. Let's talk real numbers and recent years. 1977 pennies graded MS67. That's near the top of the grading scale. Have sold at auctions for upwards of $100. A particularly fine specimen, certified by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, could go for even more if it has strong eye appeal and no noticeable flaws. Error coins are even more valuable. A 1977 Lincoln penny with a well-known double die obverse has been known to sell for several $100s, depending on the visibility of the doubling. One rare off-center strike sold for over $250 at auction. And if you're lucky enough to find a proof-like strike or an example struck on a foreign planchet, you could be looking at a four-figure payday. So, could a single penny really make you rich? Well, maybe not rich overnight, but if you find the right 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in pristine condition or with a rare error, you could be holding on to a very valuable piece of American history. And the best part? These pennies are still out there. In old jars, in drawers, even in your pocket change. So the next time you're sorting through coins, take a moment to check your 1977 pennies. Look closely. Use a magnifying glass if you need to. You never know, you might just strike gold in copper form. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a treasure hunting opportunity. And remember, every coin has a story, maybe even a fortune. Thanks for watching and happy collecting. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we explore the fascinating world of rare coins, valuable pennies, and hidden treasures you might just have in your pocket change. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1985 Lincoln penny. Now, before you think it's just another old penny, let me tell you, this little coin could be worth far more than 1 cent. Some collectors have paid hundreds of dollars for the right one. Imagine that. A penny turning into a small fortune. So stick with me because this is one video you won't want to miss. Let's take a step back in time. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, replacing the earlier Indian head design. Fast forward to 1985. This was a period when the United States Mint had already shifted from making pennies out of mostly copper to a cheaper metal blend due to rising copper costs. So, while earlier pennies were made from 95% copper starting in 1982, the Mint changed the composition to 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating. This made the newer pennies lighter and less expensive to produce. The 1985 Lincoln penny with the D Mint mark was struck at the Denver Mint. While it was mass-produced like other years, certain rare errors and characteristics have made a handful of these coins extremely desirable to collectors. Now, let's talk about how you can identify the 1985 Lincoln penny. And more importantly, how to spot one that might be worth big money. First, flip the coin over and look for the date. It should clearly read 1985 on the front side, right beneath Abraham Lincoln's profile. Just below the year, slightly to the right, you'll see a small letter D. That's the Mint mark indicating the coin was made in Denver. Next, check the overall condition. Is it worn, scratched, or discolored? Or is it crisp and shiny with all the details in Lincoln's hair and the lettering clearly visible? Genuine 1985 D pennies will have a diameter of 19 millimeters and weigh about 2.5 grams if they are made of zinc. However, if you find one that weighs closer to 3.1 grams, it could be a rare copper transitional error, and that's where things get exciting. Here are the technical details of the 1985 Lincoln penny. Weight: approximately 2.5 grams. Composition: 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper. Diameter: 19.05 millimeters. Edge: plain, no reading. Mint mark: D for Denver. Now, why do some of these coins sell for so much? Well, a small number of 1985 pennies were mistakenly struck using leftover copper. Planchets, those are blank coin discs from before 1982. If you find one of these heavier copper pennies from 1985, it's an extremely rare error that can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Other errors include off-center strikes, double dies, and misaligned mint marks. These minting mistakes are not supposed to happen and are highly sought after by collectors. Let's talk money. What is a 1985 Lincoln penny worth today? If it's a common circulated version with normal wear and tear, it's still worth just 1 cent. But if it's in better condition, you might start seeing some value. Circulated condition, between 1 cent and 10 cents, depending on appearance. uncirculated condition, these coins can fetch between $1 and $5. Certified by a grading service, high-grade examples, especially those graded MS65 or higher, can sell for $15 to $50. Error coins or copper planchet strikes, these are the real treasures. In 2019, a 1985 D Lincoln penny struck on a copper planchet sold at auction for over $1,000. It's all about the details. A small error or the use of the wrong metal can turn a simple coin into a collector's dream. Let's take a look at some real-world examples. In 2021, an uncirculated 1985 D Lincoln penny graded MS67 by PCGS sold for $180 at a coin auction. A 1985 D penny with a double die error fetched $250 in a private sale, and as we mentioned earlier, that rare copper transitional penny, the one mistakenly made with the wrong metal, sold for over $1,000. These sales aren't just stories. They're happening all the time at coin shows, online auctions, and through private collectors. So what does this mean for you? It means the next time you check your pocket change, your piggy bank, or that old jar of coins sitting on a shelf, you might just come across a 1985 D penny that's worth far more than 1 cent. And if you're lucky enough to find one of those rare error coins or a high-grade uncirculated version, you could make a tidy profit or even start a whole new hobby in coin collecting. Coins like the 1985 D penny are reminders that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. You don't have to dig for gold. Sometimes you just need to take a closer look at your change. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos about rare pennies, valuable coins, and tips on coin collecting. Hit that like button and leave a comment if you've ever found an interesting coin in your change. Who knows, your story might be featured in a future video. Thanks for watching and happy collecting. Hello and welcome back to the channel where we explore the hidden treasures hiding in plain sight, right in your pocket change. Today, we're talking about one small penny that could be worth more than you think. Imagine this, you're going through a handful of coins from your kitchen drawer, and there it is. A 1989 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Could it be rare? Could it be valuable? Could it change your life? Well, stay with me because in today's video we're diving deep into the story behind the 1989 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and by the end you'll know exactly what to look for, why this coin matters, and how it might just bring a bit of luck or a lot of money your way. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 in honor of Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was the first United States coin to feature a real person, and not just any person, one of the most beloved presidents in American history. Fast forward to 1989, the Lincoln cent had already been a part of American life for 80 years. That year marked the continued use of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had been introduced back in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Now here's where things get interesting. The Philadelphia Mint, which struck most of the pennies that year, traditionally did not use a mint mark. So when you see a penny from 1989 with no mint mark under the date, that alone doesn't make it rare. But as we'll explain in a moment, certain features, conditions, and possible errors can make some 1989 pennies incredibly valuable. So, how do you know if you've got the real deal? First, pick up the coin and look at the date. It should read 1989. Right below the year, there is usually a small letter indicating where the coin was minted. But if there is no letter at all, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, then you've got a Philadelphia minted penny. But we're not done yet. You need to look at the condition of the coin. Is the detail sharp? Is Lincoln's face clear and unblemished? What about the Lincoln Memorial on the back? Can you see the tiny statue of Lincoln inside it? The better the detail, the more valuable the coin might be. Now let's get technical for a moment. The 1989 Lincoln cent was made of copper-plated zinc. Specifically, the core is 99.2% zinc, and the outer plating is 0.8% copper. The coin weighs 2.5 grams, and it measures 19 millimeters across. Here's something else to note. In rare cases, a coin can be struck with errors. These include double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet, which is the blank piece of metal used to make a coin. If you come across a 1989 no mint mark penny with any of these unusual features, it could be worth much more than 1 cent. One example collectors look for is a double die obverse, where the date or letters on Lincoln's head side appear doubled. These are very rare, but they exist. You might be wondering, Why is a 1989 penny with no mint mark valuable if that was common for Philadelphia coins? The answer lies in condition, rarity of errors, and collector demand. While billions of 1989 pennies were made, very few have survived in perfect, uncirculated condition. And even fewer have been discovered with recognized minting errors. Coin collectors, known as numismatists, place a high value on error coins, rare variations, and coins in pristine condition. If you have a 1989 penny that has never been circulated, or has an unusual error, it might be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's talk numbers. A typical 1989 no mint mark penny in average circulated condition is worth face value just 1 cent, but here's where it gets exciting. That if you have one in uncirculated condition with no scratches or wear, it could sell for $1 to $5. That might not sound like much, but remember, it's just a penny. Now, a certified uncirculated 1989 penny, one that has been graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, can go for $15 to $50 depending on its grade. But rare error coins, or those in mint state 67 or higher, those can fetch hundreds of dollars at auction. In one recorded sale, a 1989 Lincoln cent with a double die error sold for over $3,000. And another in perfect mint condition, slabbed and graded MS68, brought in nearly $1,500. Those are the kinds of numbers that make going through your spare change worth the effort. So here's the big question. Could you get rich from finding a 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Well, maybe not rich overnight, but you could get lucky. These valuable coins are out there, and people have found them in pocket change, in old jars, and in inherited coin collections. All it takes is a sharp eye, a little patience, and knowing what to look for. So what are you waiting for? Go check your change, dig into those coin jars, and look through any old collections you might have tucked away. You never know. Your next penny could be worth a pretty penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, coin collecting, and the valuable coins that could be hiding in your home, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss a chance to uncover treasure from your own pocket. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting. Have you ever held? Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real person, and since then it has become one of the most collected coins in the United States. Now, by 1984, the Lincoln penny had been in circulation for 75 years. That year, the U.S. Mint continued its production at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most people know about the mint marks that appear on coins, a little D for Denver and S for San Francisco, or no mark at all for Philadelphia. The 1984 Lincoln penny with no mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which, at the time, did not use a mint mark on its 1-cent coins. Millions were produced, but here's where it gets interesting. While the coin is common, a specific variation makes some of these coins extremely valuable to collectors. So how can you tell if you have the valuable 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Let's go over what to look for. First, check the date on the front, also known as the obverse. It should clearly say 1984. Just beneath the year, there should be no mint mark. That means no small letter D or S under the date. If it's blank, you may be looking at a Philadelphia minted coin, but that's just the beginning. What really makes this coin valuable is a specific type of mint error. Some 1984 pennies have what's known as a double die. This means that during the minting process, the coin was struck more than once by the die, causing parts of the design to appear double. To spot this doubling, you'll want to look closely at Lincoln's ear, his eyes, and especially the word liberty and the motto, "I in God we trust." If the letters appear to be doubled or blurry, you could have one of these rare double die varieties. Let's review some important details about this coin. Year, 1984 mint location, Philadelphia designer, Victor D. Brenner obverse. Abraham Lincoln reverse, Lincoln memorial material, mostly zinc with a thin copper coating weight, 2.5 grams. Keep in mind, earlier Lincoln pennies were made of 95% copper. But starting in 1982, the U.S. Mint switched to zinc with a copper plating due to the rising cost of copper. The 1984 no mint mark penny is typically common, but the double die error makes a small percentage of them highly sought after. So why is this particular penny valuable? The answer is in its rarity and the doubling error. Minting errors are a favorite among coin collectors because they are often unique and hard to find. The 1984 double die penny is one of the most famous double die errors from the 1980s. It's not just rare, it's also easily identifiable under a magnifying glass, making it a prized find for collectors who enjoy the thrill of the hunt. Because of its distinct appearance and the low number in circulation, demand for this error coin has remained high for decades. Now let's talk money. What is this penny actually worth? If you have a regular 1984 no mint mark penny in worn condition, it's worth 1 cent, maybe 2 or 3 cents to a collector who needs one for their set. But if your coin has the double die error, values can range dramatically based on condition. In circulated condition, it might be worth anywhere from $100 to $300 in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks brand new with no wear. It could fetch $500 to $1,000 if it's been certified by a grading service like PCGS or NGC and received a high grade, such as MS 65 or above. It could be worth $1,500 or more. Here are some real-life examples. In 2017, a 1984 double die penny graded MS 67 by PCGS sold at auction $4,355. Another certified coin graded MS 65 sold for $1,200 in 2020. Even circulated examples have sold on eBay and other platforms for over $200. Not bad for a coin that you might find in your couch cushions. So, the next time you're sorting through your loose change, keep an eye out for the 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Take a closer look at Lincoln's features, the lettering, and don't forget to use a magnifying glass to check for that valuable doubling. It may look like an ordinary penny, but if you find the right one, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting, the idea that a hidden gem could be right in your pocket. Remember, every rare penny found today started out as just another coin in someone's wallet. Could the next valuable discovery be in yours? If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, coin collecting, and valuable coins hiding in everyday change, make sure to subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin. And don't forget to check your change. That lucky penny might be closer than you think. Search terms to help more viewers find this video. Rare 1984 penny value, double die Lincoln cent, valuable 1 cent coins, 1984 no mint mark penny error, coin collecting for seniors. Rare US pennies, Lincoln penny worth money, how to find rare coins in change. Thanks for watching and happy collecting. Have you ever looked through your loose change and wondered if one of those pennies could be worth more than its face value? What if I told you that a simple 1 cent coin from 1967 might be hiding in your home, and it could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Welcome to another episode of Hidden Treasures in Your Pocket. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Whether you're a coin collector, a history enthusiast, or just someone curious about valuable coins, this video is for you. So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's explore the hidden value behind one of America's most iconic coins. The year was 1967. The United States was in the midst of significant change, politically, culturally, and economically. But for coin collectors, 1967 stands out for a very specific reason. In the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint faced a nationwide coin shortage. This led to some dramatic changes in how coins were made and marked. Between 1965 and 1967, the U.S. Mint temporarily stopped putting mint marks on coins to discourage hoarding by collectors. That means all pennies from 1967 were struck without a mint mark, regardless of whether they were made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. This was an unusual time in American coinage history, and it makes the 1967 Lincoln penny unique and worth a closer look. Let's talk about how you can spot one of these coins in your own pocket change or coin jar. First, flip the penny over and check the date. It should clearly read 1967 on the obverse, or front side, just below Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Now look just beneath the date. You won't see any mint mark like a D or S. That's correct. A genuine 1967 Lincoln penny will have no mint mark at all. Don't confuse this with damage or wear. These coins were deliberately made without a mint mark. Also, make sure the coin matches the following official specifications. Weight, 3.11 grams material. 95% copper and 5% zinc diameter. 19 millimeters edge. Plain hold the coin under a bright light or use a magnifying glass if needed. This can help you check for important details like strike quality and possible errors, which we'll talk about next. Now, here's where it gets exciting. Most 1967 pennies are common, but some have minting errors that make them significantly more valuable to collectors. Look out for double die obverse. This error causes a doubling of the date or lettering, especially on the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Off-center strikes. Coins that were misaligned during minting, especially if the date is still visible, can be worth more. Die cracks or cuds. Raised lines or lumps on the coin caused by broken dies can attract collector interest. Struck on wrong planchet. If a penny was struck on a foreign coin or a different denomination's planchet, it can be extremely rare. If you spot any of these, you may want to get your coin authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Now to the question everyone wants answered. How much is a 1967 no-mint mark penny worth? Here's a general guide to what these coins can sell for. Worn condition typically worth only face value, around 1 cent average circulated condition, about 5 to 15 cents. Uncirculated between 25 cents and $1. Certified uncirculated with full red luster can go for $10 to $50 or more, depending on the grade. Rare error versions or high-grade examples, these have sold for hundreds, even up to $2,500 at auction. For example, a 1967 Lincoln Cent graded MS 67 red by PCGS once sold at auction for over $2,000. And a double die error in excellent condition has been known to fetch over $1,500. Most people don't think twice about their spare change. But imagine how lucky you'd feel if that old penny in your junk drawer turned out to be worth thousands. While not every 1967 penny is valuable, certain varieties, especially those with errors or in pristine condition, can be hidden treasures. These coins are part of American history, and for those who know what to look for, they represent a chance at turning everyday change into real money. So, the next time you empty your pockets or clean out your change jar, take a closer look. You might be holding a piece of history, a 1967 Lincoln penny that could be worth far more than 1 cent if you found this video helpful. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth videos about rare coins, valuable pennies, and coin collecting tips. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about the next coin that could make you rich. Leave a comment below if you've ever found an unusual penny or have questions about your collection. And remember, always check your change. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck. Have you ever picked up a penny and wondered if it might be worth more than just 1 cent? What if I told you there's a coin out there that could turn up in your spare change and be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Today, we're talking about one very specific coin that many collectors are still hunting for, the 1964 D Lincoln penny. This humble 1 cent piece could be hiding a secret treasure right in your coin jar. So sit back, relax, and let's take a deep dive into the history, value, and mystery of the 1964 D Lincoln penny. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln Cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it replaced the Indian head penny. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny became one of the most iconic coins in American history. Fast forward to 1964. The country was in the midst of great social and political change. The coin shortage of the early 1960s had mints working overtime, and the Denver Mint, marked with a small D on the coin, produced a massive number of Lincoln Cents that year. But here's where it gets interesting. While the 1964 D Lincoln penny is not necessarily rare based on the number minted, over 3.7 billion were struck. Certain features, errors, and conditions can make this everyday penny extremely valuable. So, how can you tell if you have a valuable one? First, let's talk about the identifying details. The 1964 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, as shown by the small D just below the date on the front of the coin. A genuine 1964 D Lincoln Cent should weigh about 3.11 grams, be made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, have a diameter of 19 millimeters, show the classic Lincoln portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Now, let's talk about errors and key features that make this coin stand out to collectors. Look for coins with double die errors, especially on the date or the word Liberty. A doubled image looks like a shadow or echo of the original letters or numbers. This type of error is rare and highly desirable. Another feature to look for is off-center strikes, where the design isn't perfectly aligned. If part of the design is missing or shifted significantly, that's a sign of a minting error which can increase the value. Also, be on the lookout for repunched mint marks. That's when the D under the date looks like it was stamped more than once in slightly different positions. These varieties are known as RPMs or repunched mint marks, and collectors love them. Now, let's talk money. What is a 1964 D Lincoln penny worth today? If your penny is heavily worn and shows lots of circulation, it's probably only worth face value, 1 cent, but if it's in better shape, lightly circulated or even uncirculated, it could be worth much more. Here's a quick guide to what you might expect. Worn condition: 1 to 5 cents lightly circulated, 10 to 50 cents uncirculated, 75 cents to several dollars certified mint state by a grading service, $10 to $100 or more, depending on the quality error. Coins: these are the big ones. A rare double die or repunched mint mark can sell for $100, $500, or even over $1,000 in top condition. Let me give you a real example. ATA 2022 coin auction. A 1964 D Lincoln penny with a dramatic repunched mint mark, graded MS66 red by PCGS, sold for over $1, $200, yes, over $1,000 for a single penny. It's easy to imagine that these valuable coins are locked away in some collector's vault. But the truth is, they can still be found in your everyday change, in old piggy banks, or tucked away in family coin jars. You might just get lucky. And sometimes, it only takes one good find to turn your day around. So what should you do next? Here's your action plan. Check your change. Start with your spare coins, old jars, and even your grandkids' piggy banks. Look for that 1964 date with the D mint mark below it. Use a magnifying glass to examine the details. Look for doubling, errors, or anything unusual. Compare it to photos online or take it to a local coin dealer for a second opinion. You never know, you might be holding a little piece of American history that's worth far more than a penny. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We've got more fascinating stories and helpful guides coming your way. And remember, every penny has a story. Will yours be the one that changes everything? Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Search friendly terms to include in tags or description. Rare pennies, valuable coins, 1964 D Lincoln penny, coin collecting, error coins, copper penny, how to identify rare coins, 1964 penny value, coin hunting, repunched mint mark, double die penny. Hello and welcome, friends. Let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever looked closely at the pennies in your pocket change? Well, you might want to start doing just that. Because one of those old copper coins could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Today, we're going to talk about the 1965 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that many people overlook, but that some collectors will pay big money to get their hands on. Stay with me because what you learn today might just change the way you see those little brown coins in your jar. Let's take a trip back to the year 1965. The United States was going through a coin shortage and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to keep up with demand. Now, at that time, coins usually carried small letters indicating where they were made: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But in 1965, to combat widespread hoarding of coins, especially silver ones, the mint decided to remove all mint marks from coins temporarily. This meant that every penny, nickel, dime, and quarter struck in 1965 came without any mint mark, regardless of the minting facility. So when you see a 1965 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, that's not an error. It's actually how they were all made that year. But that doesn't mean they're all the same. Some of them are very special. Now, let's talk about how to identify a genuine 1965 no mint mark Lincoln penny. First, take a look at the obverse or the front side of the coin. You'll see the familiar face of President Abraham Lincoln, which has been featured on the penny since 1909. Look closely under the date. You won't find a D or an S. That's because it has no mint mark. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, which was used from 1959 until 2008. If it looks different, maybe it shows wheat stalks instead. It's not a 1965 penny, and of course, be sure to check the date. It must clearly read 1965, and the lettering and edges should be clean and sharp if it's in good condition. Let's go over some important details. Year: 1965 mint mark, none weight, 3.11 grams material. 95% copper, 5% zinc diameter, 19 millimeters edge, plain, no reading. One key thing to remember is that these pennies were made using copper, unlike modern pennies, which are mostly made of zinc with just a thin copper coating. That alone gives them more value in terms of metal content. Now, most 1965 Lincoln pennies aren't rare. But certain error coins from that year can be incredibly valuable. Watch out for these. Double die errors, where the image or lettering appears double due to a mistake during minting. Off-center strikes, where the design isn't properly aligned with the center of the coin. Die cracks or cuds, raised lines or blobs caused by damaged minting equipment. These errors are accidental, but collectors love them. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin. Another rare variation to look for is a 1965 penny mistakenly struck on a silver dime planchet. That's a thin, silver-colored blank meant for dimes. If your 1965 penny looks too shiny or feels too light, it could be one of these rare finds. Let's break down the current market value of a 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, worn condition, worth 2 to 3 cents, mostly for its copper content. Average circulated condition typically sells for 5 to 10 cents. Uncirculated condition can range from $1 to $10 depending on the luster and sharpness. These can sell for $50 to over $200, especially if they are near perfect or show signs of rare errors. Here are some real examples from recent auctions. A 1965 Lincoln penny graded MS67 red by PCGS sold $4.690. Another example with a double die obverse error fetched over $300. A coin struck on a dime planchet was recently auctioned for more than $4,000. These are not stories or myths, these are real coins found by everyday people just like you. So, what does all this mean? It means that the next time you're sorting through a jar of change or cleaning out a drawer, you could stumble across a penny that might just change your fortune, and it won't cost you anything to look. That's the magic of coin collecting. It turns something ordinary into something extraordinary. Especially when it comes to rare pennies, valuable coins, and Lincoln cents with errors. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins hiding in your change, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. And do me a favor, go check your piggy bank, your coin jar, or even the bottom of your purse. You never know, that 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be waiting for you. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.